Hi everyone, Cole Holloway here. So to get right into it, the topic I picked for my lesson was comparing Ulysses S. Grant to George B. McClellan. Both men are generals during the Civil War, played key roles. Both men also got into politics um, in their lives. They both also come from very different backgrounds. Grant overcame a lot of adversity, failed businessman, alcoholic, well known. McClellan was really highly thought of coming out of West Point, had the nickname Little Napoleon, and kind of his downfall during the Civil War. So the first lesson I picked was a DBQ. At the BBQ or document-based question, this would be more instruction-centered, where I would kind of read excerpts about Grant and McClellan's background to the students, and the students would answer questions that I would have or prompts for them based off me reading that. Number two was a five photo analysis. There's a photo analysis of the 5Ws. So the 5Ws are who they are, what happened, where they came from, where they went, and what's happening. So just kind of the kids would answer these prompts. I could give them photos of McClellan and Grant, McClellan and Grant, and they would answer the questions about kind of comparing the men based off those five prompts. And then they could share those answers with the class, and we can kind of discuss the answers we get. The KWHL is my next one. So the K stands for the know about the subject. So what do you know about the subject? W is what you want to learn about the subject. The H is how can we learn more? And the L is what you learned so far about the subject. Again, this could be just kind of an assessment for them, my students. What do they know about the subject so far as we're exploring these two men? Just kind of let me know where we're at and where I need let me know if I feel like they're getting the point that I want them to understand. And then number four is a pro-con grid. Again, it's just an easy way, kind of pros and cons of both men, showing that they were flawed men, but they also, how they were able to overcome these flaws, and did their flaws come later in life. So struggles I faced when making this lesson was just trying to find a topic I thought was flexible enough that it could be used 4 different ways, and also just finding these subjects online. It wasn't too difficult, but it took some digging. And then 3 biggest takeaway was just how much information is online about different teaching strategies and so many useful tools out there. It was almost overwhelming because you want to use all these different strategies, and just trying to find ways 4 different strategies I think would fit together somewhat, but also be able to be used for the same topic or subject. To answer number 4, differences in teaching online versus in person. In person is obviously going to be different. A lot more class discussion. This can be done online, but it's easier to kind of just sit back and not type in the chat box or participate in a Zoom call versus in person or in a class. You could put them in small groups, so the more quiet kids could still answer questions and participate, but maybe not have to stand up in front of the class and answer. And then number 5, what impact does COVID-19 have on instruction? Identify a strategy that would be useful to teach during a pandemic. I think the best strategy I could use out of the 4 I selected would either be the photo analysis, because it's easy to post those photos online, the students can find them and then answer them, or the pro-con grid, and that could be used collectively. I could write a prompt in like Google Classroom, and basically the kids have to answer 2 to 3 pros and cons for each man. That would be the way I would teach that subject during the pandemic. I look forward to watching everyone else's videos and seeing the lessons they picked and the strategies that they picked to complete those lessons.